Hey, good people. Welcome. My name is Craig. I'm here to share with you a Qigong practice. For those who are catching this live through Facebook, it's almost 6 p.m. I'll start the class in, let's say, 3 minutes. For those who are new, wondering what's happening in this class, what's this Qigong practice about? Qigong is an ancient Chinese wellness, energy, healthcare practice. Been practiced for a long time. I mentioned thousands of years. There's lots of forms of Qigong. Qigong is very similar to yoga. It's also known as Taoist yoga. But the focus for Qigong is on coordinating the body with the breath. An opportunity to connect with yourself. Just take an opportunity to shift from stress to being in the present moment. It's like a moving meditation. So I'll start the class in a moment. I'll give you a breakdown of the class of what we'll be doing. First 10 minutes of the class is an intro and just getting grounded. We'll be aligning the three treasures. The three treasures are body, breath, and mind, also known as the three adjustments. We want to align the three treasures so we get the most out of practice. That just again helps us able to slow down, connect. And then we move into 5 introductory movements, including shaking. And that takes up about 20 minutes of class, and that takes us to a half-hour mark. And then for the second half of class, we'll move into tapping, and then we'll do some flowing movements, and I'll incorporate a standing meditation. So that's pretty much 55 minutes of class. And as always, this is your practice. I'll be doing this class standing, but you are welcome to do it seated or even laying down. Most of the movements for this class are movements with the arms and the hands. And we'll be incorporating the legs for some gestures, but mostly it's just moving the hands up and down. Again, syncing the body with the breath. And I'm going to start the class in a moment. Thanks again for being patient. Let me just shift one thing. There we go. And I'll step back so you have a better view of me. All right. Hope you can hear me clearly. And let's begin this Qigong class. So let's take this opportunity to just notice our surroundings, notice our environment, looking around, listening, making sure you have enough space for yourself. Noticing how you feel. And we're just transitioning into this practice. And now let's move into aligning the three treasures. We're going to start with the body. So let's notice our feet connecting to the ground. Notice how the feet sink. Notice how the four corners of the feet connected to the earth. Notice that you're supported by the earth at this moment. What do you feel? Noticing the temperature of the floor, the texture. Noticing how the weight is distributed between both feet. Getting in touch with the felt sense. And now let's transition from bringing our awareness to the feet to the knees. Noticing how the knees feel. Knees can be soft, slight bend. Let's check in with the pelvis. Pelvis, pubic bone is tilted up, so tailbone, sacrum is tucked underneath the spine. This allows the pelvic bowl to be level. Let's check in with the chest. Chest is open. Let's check in with the arms. Arms is hanging down. Just soft. Check in with the palms. Palms can be open, facing towards the body. Fingers can be spread part, noticing how that feels. And let's take an opportunity to release tension in the neck, the shoulders, and the wrists. In Qigong, being able to release stress and slow down helps us better connect with our energy, our life force energy. So let's start with the shoulders. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls. You can do 5 forward and 5 back, whatever feels good for you. Key thing is to listen to your body. So I'll do 5 forward, just rolling, shoulders forward. And I'm going to reverse that, pulling them back. All right, and noticing how you feel. And let's release tension in the neck. So we'll move the head up and down, left and right. And for those who do not know, this practice, I'll be mirroring you unless noted. So when I say turn to the left, will be my right. I want to make sure you get the most of this practice. And let's say turn the neck to the right. Look over to the right. Let's do this 2 more times. Look back to the left. Look over to the right. Bring the head back to center. And let's look up and down. Looking up. Look down, being gentle with the neck. Let's do that 1 more time. Look back up. Back down. Bring the head back to center. Let's take an opportunity to just circle to the neck rotation. So you can just allow the nose to just lead the movement, circling. Here we can circle 2 circles in one direction and 2 in the other. And when you're set with those neck rotations, bring the head back over the spine and over heart. And let's check in with our wrists. We can release tension in our wrists. Let's bring our hands together. We can interlock the fingers and we just circle in one direction, then we can reverse it. All right, just allowing the hands to flow down. Let's bring our awareness back to the head, noticing how you feel. Let's imagine there's a string that comes down from the ceiling, connects to the top of the head, and that string pulls you upright, yet you're hanging from it, you're soft and loose. Let's bring our awareness to the eyes. Eyes could be at a half gaze. Let's bring our awareness to the brow and the jaw. Notice if you have any tension there. See if you can release that tension. Let's bring our awareness to the mouth. Mouth can be in the form of a smile. Smiling releases good chemicals in the body, endorphins. But again, do it feels good to you. You can have the tongue relaxed, or if you like, you can have the tongue connected to the palate, touching the roof of the mouth, and that connects energy pathways in the body. And now that we have aligned the body, let's move into aligning the breath. In this practice, we do what is called Dantian breathing. Dantian representing the energy center in the lower abdomen. So this is also known as belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. To demonstrate, let's bring the left hand to the abdomen. So when you take a breath as you inhale, as the lung expands, the navel moves away from the spine as you exhale. Lungs empty, navel moves close to the spine. So as you inhale, lungs fill, abdomen fills, exhale, lungs empty, abdomen softens. Dantian breathing can be helpful in shifting and releasing stress and shifting to more of a parasympathetic response. It connects and helps elicit that response. But as always, do what feels best for you. Just being aware of your breathing. If you can check in with your breathing throughout the practice, that would be great. And lastly, let's take an opportunity to check in with our mind. The saying goes, where the mind goes, the chi flows. Whatever we bring our attention to, that's where our energy will go. So let's make an intention to bring our attention to the present moment. Qigong can be an opportunity to focus on the present moment using and bringing awareness to the breath, the movements, what we sense with our senses, whether internally or externally. You can use these sources to anchor your practice. Coming back to the present moment allows you to have the greatest healing ability and the most power. We can't change the past or the future, but we have the ability to act in the present. So now that we've aligned the body, breath, and the mind, let's move into five introductory movements. So let's start off with full body breathing. So with our arms hanging down, we're going to inhale. Draw the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, the hands out and down by the sides. And we're going to restart this movement. We're going to inhale the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down. Adjust and modify this movement for your liking. This is your practice. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Go at your own pace and speed. This will be my final repetition in this direction. Then I'll reverse the direction of this movement. So now the hands will come up by the side and exhale down from the body. I'll begin. Inhale the hands up by the sides. Exhale the hands down in front of the body. Noticing how that change, that switch feels. Again, noticing where your awareness is. Noticing how it feels to have your hands flow through the air, connecting with the breath. Noticing how your feet feel, connected to the earth. Let's do 2 more repetitions, then we'll transition to the next movement. And this will be the last repetition on my end of this movement. So as I allow the hands to just flow down gently. Just gonna let my arms just hang for a brief moment before I transition to that next gesture. And again, just take time to notice how you feel. Noticing your connection to the earth, noticing your breath, not changing anything, just bring awareness to it. Allowing yourself to anchor into the present moment. And let's move into the next gesture. We're gonna bring our hands to the dantian, to the lower abdomen. Palms will face up, fingers will point toward each other with a little space in between. We're now going to inhale the hands up to heart height. Turn the palms over so they face down. Exhale. Right hands flow down. Restart the movement. Turn the palms upward. Inhale. Lift the hands over. Palms face down. Exhale. Noticing how that feels. Noticing if you feel anything in your hands. No worries if you do not. Just bring awareness back to the present moment. Might find ourselves shifting into thought, thinking about the past or the future. See if you can come back to the movement, your breath. Let's do this movement 2 more times. And we're going to transition to the next movement. We're going to inhale our hands back up to heart height. But this time we're going to bring our hands. Imagine that we're holding a ball between our palms. Fingers will point up. Noticing how that feels. Noticing what comes to your mind's eye. You're just holding a ball between your hands. It could be any type of ball. What do you see? What do you feel? What are you experiencing? Let's transition to the next gesture. Let's extend our hands out from the body. And we're going to begin the next movement. We're going to inhale, allow the hands to spread apart and out. You can gaze upwards. And exhale, look forward. Bring the hands back, close together but not touching. And we're going to restart. Inhale, open up. Feel the stretch in the chest. And exhale, look forward. Bring the hands back, close together, not touching. As always, go at your own pace. You can allow the hands to travel your arm. Making sure this movement feels good to you. Qigong is not about straining or pain. It's about healing. It's about repetition. It's about listening to yourself. I'm going to do 2 more repetitions on my end. And this will be the final repetition on my end. Bring the hands Hands back, close together but not touching. Notice if you feel anything between your palms. No worries, you don't feel anything. Again, just come back to this present moment. What do you feel in your feet? What do you feel in your arms? I'm just gonna be here for a brief moment. And we're gonna transition to the next movement. We're gonna turn our palms so they're facing towards the chest, the body. A little space between the fingers. We're going to inhale, draw in the palms towards the body. Exhale, hands trace over the torso without touching, and just draw down. And now we're going to swivel the hands around so the palms will face up. We're going to inhale, the hands up to shoulder height. We're going to flip the hands over, palms face down. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Hands can flow past the body to extend the exhale. And we start the movement. Inhale. Turn palms over. Exhale. Movement is called flowing motion. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. This particular movement has many variations. I'll go through let's say a couple of the variations. Right now we're just allowing the hands to flow up and down before we get to those variations. And the variations are optional. It's your practice. You're just allowing your hands to flow up and down is where you want to be. I'm going to transition to a variation. We're going to be shifting the weight on the bottom of the feet. So as we inhale the hands up, we're going to shift the weight to the front of each foot. Turn the palms over, exhale, shift the weight to the back of each foot. So as you inhale, weight shifts more to the ball of each foot, the toes. And exhale, weight shifts more into the heels. Keeping the feet planted on the ground, shifting weight from front to back. Noticing how it feels to shift the weight. We have a lot of nerve ending at the bottom of the feet. It's a way to stimulate and connect. Let's do one more repetition and we'll shift into bringing the feet together and stepping them apart. We can do that right now. As you inhale the hands up, and bring the left foot to the right foot. Exhale, left steps away from right. Now I'm going to alternate. Inhale, right steps to left. Palms over, exhale. Right steps away. There's many variations in this variation. So as you bring the feet together and stepping them apart, maybe you want to make this more of a balance practice. As you bring one foot in, most of the weight can be in one foot. You can post, keeping the toes on the ground, or maybe you'd like to lift one foot up. And engaging in balance practices helps us stay present. I'm even struggling myself. It's okay to stumble. It's a practice. Get the practice. And noticing what you feel. Let's do 2 more repetitions, 1 more pass from each side. Bring the feet together and step them apart. And then we'll do 2 more repetitions where the feet are planted on the ground and we just move the hands up to shoulder height and flowing back down. So inhale. Exhale. 1 more repetition. Inhale. Exhale. And noticing how you feel. We're going to transition to shaking. Shaking is also known as cooking Qigong. Shake the tree. It's a way of moving the body, vibrating, and just releasing stress. So let's begin. So I'm just going to start off slowly. I'm going to start with just shaking the hands. And then that shaking move throughout my body into the arms, the shoulders, the head, to the torso and the hips, into the legs. Noticing how that shaking feels. And again, it can be your own expression of shaking. It can be light. It can be intense. Maybe you're jumping up and down. Maybe you're hopping from side to side. It could be really getting into it. Or again, it could just be just easy, gentle shaking, gentle movement. Whatever feels good to you. And in this shaking practice, we do what is called blithering breaths. Just a way of releasing stress vocally, audibly, with the breath while doing shaking. These seem to go well together in this practice. So we'll do 3 blithering breaths. Blithering breaths entail as we take an inhale, taking a deep breath. And exhale, slow, a noise, sound, a yawn, a yell. Anything that feels good to you. We'll do 3. So when I say inhale, take a deep breath. And exhale, slow, it feels good. Let's begin. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. All right. Let's do the final one. Take a deep breath. Inhale. All right, let's finish off this shaking practice. Bring the hands out. See how that feels. Let's bring the hands up, reach up towards the sky. Let's bring the hands out from the body. Let's bring the hands behind the body. Let's bring the hands out to the side. Fingers pointing down. If it's available to you, maybe you want to add a slight bend the hips and knees, get close to the ground. And for the last 30 seconds, just shake however it feels good for you. Maybe want to engage in that high vibration shake. Or maybe Maybe just something slow. Shake out your arms, legs. We got about 15 seconds to go, so you can begin to slow down. We're going to bring this shaking practice to a close. Now we recenter. There we go. And if it's available to you, you can come to stillness. I know stillness is not easy for everybody, so stillness is something you do not prefer. You can shift into swaying, where you're swaying from right to left, or just rocking forward and backwards. Whatever allows you to be in the present moment. We'll have different capacities and capabilities. Qigong is a practice for that. What I'd like you to do is just take a notice. What's happening now? If it's available to you, can you notice what's happening inside? What's happening in your internal environment? If that's a bit too much right now, maybe noticing what's happening in your external environment. What do you feel? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste, touch? Connecting with the environment, connecting with yourself, just being here. Not worrying about what could happen or what has happened. Just coming back to this present moment. Where is your awareness? And can you bring it here? So just taking this time to pause. Not engaging in any movement or gesture. Just being. Noticing if you feel anything in your fingers. Or just feel anything with your fingers. Do this for another 30 seconds where we just take this pause. There's also a transition between the first half of class to the second half. All right. Let's move into the second half of class, which will consist of tapping, some slow flowing movements. I'll incorporate some movements from the crane, inspired by the teaching I've learned from Deer and Drum and around the animal frogs. We love those animal frog classes, so would like to share that with you. And we'll end this practice with standing meditation. But let's start off with some tapping, do a short tapping practice. I always like to start off with checking in with the chest. And as always, advise that tapping brings up stuff. You can use tracing or massaging, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to jump into some tapping. We'll start off with the chest. I'm going to make soft fists. Just gently tap the chest. Just noticing how that feels. You can tap at any intensity that feels good for you. What do you like? What would feel good? And I'm going to begin transitioning to tapping each arm. So I'll extend the right hand out, move the left hand tapping the chest, and we'll just tap down, starting from the neck, with the palm facing out, tapping down the inner arm of the right part, turning the palm over, tapping up the outer arm. I'll do this 2 more times, for a total of 3 times. hand to the left chest. Just start tapping there. I'm going to extend left arm out. Palm is facing up. I'm going to start tapping down. Starting from the shoulder, down, left arm, the inner arm. Tapping up the other arm. I'll do this 2 more times. Alright, noticing how that feels. Okay, and we can move into just bring a massage to the abdomen. So what we can do is bring one palm over the other. We can just circle. Maybe you might prefer a tapping, but I'll just go with a massage. And we can do 5 circles in one direction. I'm about to reverse it. And 5 circles in the other. This can be tapping, this can be tracing, whatever feels good for you. And you can bring your hands to the lower dantian, one palm over the other. Just noticing, connecting to the dantian for a brief moment. Connecting to the breath, that's something that's more available to you. Or just having your hands resting on your body. Just noticing. And we're just going to allow your hands to flow off. Hanging down by the side. Let's transition to tapping the lower back. What's known as the main man, the kidney area. I'm going to make soft fists. Or you can use the palm of your hands. Just tapping the lower back, kidneys. If you like, it's available to you. You can tap up and down. Or you can focus on one area. Transition into tapping from the kidneys down to the lower back and up the inner legs. So you can tap down the back, the legs, tap the front of the foot, tap up the inner legs. You can do this a total of 3 times. So let's do this 2 more times. All right, and noticing how that feels. And then we can cover a couple additional areas. We can cover the sides of the upper body, and we can cover the head. So you can lift up the right arm. You can start from the armpit, just tapping with the left arm, and we'll just tap down the side. And start back up from the top, just tap down the waist, the hips. Do that for a total of 3 times. And we'll switch, bring up the left hand, tap with the right hand. All right, and let's just take a brief moment to tap the head. I'll still do it with a hand, but you can just imagine your raindrops, or you can just trace the top of your head too. Whatever feels good. Being kind and gentle to yourself, taking care of yourself. All right. Now that we've done the tapping portion of this practice, we're going to transition and engage in some movement that allows the body to flow with the breath, inspired by animals and nature, primarily the crane, bird movements. All right. So I'm going to start off with separating clouds. And then we can start off with separating clouds and transition into a crane movement that incorporates some of the separating cloud movement. So to do separating clouds, what we're going to do is we're going to cross the hands over in front of the abdomen, the waist. We're going to inhale the hands up towards the sky. We're going to exhale, separate the hands, separating clouds out and around. And they circle and cross. You can alternate what hand or arm is in front. Inhale up, exhale, hand out. Noticing how this feels. Going at your own pace and speed. And to turn this into a crane movement, we'll turn this into crane stands on one leg. So you can either just have the heel lifted or lift up the whole leg. So next time you circle the arms around, just lift one leg up again. Could just be give more space. Just could have the heel lifted up, or you can lift the whole leg. So as you bring the hands in and across, just lift the leg. Exhale. Lower the hands, lower the leg. Then do the opposite leg. It's available to you. You can lift the leg with the arms. Noticing what would feel good to you. I'll do 2 more repetitions, 1 more pass for each leg. I'll just keep them on the ground. All right. And noticing how that feels. I'll transition to another gesture. This one being inspired by the grade. Just do a gesture that involves shifting weight from left to right. So noticing how that feels. Shifting weight to the left foot, shifting weight to the right. Or just sway from side to side. Noticing how this feels. Just engaging in this movement. And we'll transition to poetry. So, to turn the side, just bring the hands up. Shift towards the right and turn. Say left and then shift towards the right, turn. The arms just flow in. You're just imagining that you're a tree blowing through the wind. And you're moving like so. Palm tree in the wind. Our cheeks are flexible, they don't break because they're so flexible and pliable. Noticing how this feels. And the breathing pattern can be natural, or maybe you're just inhaling from one side, exhale to another. Whatever feels good to you. We'll do 2 more passes for each side, and we'll end. The hands are flowing back to the left side. And you can allow the hands to flow down when you are set. Just noticing how that feels. We'll move into another crane movement. Crane movement is primarily focused with just the hands flowing as you have arms are wings. This will be another one of those. This will be crane's beak. So you're just going to bring fingers and thumb, both hands together. We're going to inhale the hands up, imagining that the hands are the beak of the crane, about shoulder height. Then exhale, open the hands, allow the hands flow down as if you have wings. And we're going to restart the movement. Inhale, bring the fingers and thumb together. Exhale, open the hands apart, allow the hands to flow down. You can extend the exhale if that feels good to you. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do 3 more at your own pace and speed. Noticing what you feel, noticing what you sense. The idea is to embody being the crane, a graceful, meditative bird. This will be the last repetition on my end. Just allowing the hands to kind of flow down, hang down. Fingers are now open, palms facing the body, just noticing what you feel. Before we transition to the next gesture, if you like to engage in some shoulder shrugs, I'll be doing a couple. So we can inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale to let them drop. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. All right. We got about 11 minutes to go. Do another crane exercise. Do another cloud movement. But before we do that crane exercise, let's try another gesture. So let's just bring our awareness to our feet, noticing how the weight is distributed between both feet, noticing what you sense, noticing what you're connecting with. Then check in with your hands, check in with the palm, noticing how they feel. Then check in with the shoulders, we just did shoulder shrugs. Checking if there's any tension or tightness there. All right. Now let's move into the next gesture. So what we're going to do, we're going to move into rowing the boat. Seem to be coming back to this gesture quite a bit. So with our arms hanging down, we're now going to inhale, hands up to light. Bring the hands in towards the center. Imagine that you grasp your oars. Exhale, allow them to flow down, back towards the waist. Now step towards the side. So inhale, hands up. Circle in, grab those oars, exhale. Noticing how that feels. Go at your own pace. Inhale, draw hands towards center. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, draw hands up towards the center. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. This will be my last repetition. All right. We'll move into another crane exercise. This involves just stepping out 1 foot, opening up the hands as if the crane is opening up its rings, and again, doing so in a graceful, just peaceful manner. So I'll start off with the right foot. You can step out the right foot at an angle that feels comfortable for you. And then just open up the arms, open the chest, bring your crane, opening its wings, and bring the hands back in, step in. And we'll now do the other side. Step out to the left. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring the hands in towards the center, step back in. We'll continue to alternate. Again, this is not about strain or pain, just gentle, graceful movement as if you're a crane. Opening, spreading its wings, stepping out. Let's do this 2 more times, for each side. All right. Got a few minutes left. Let's shift into cloud hands, favorite of mine, and continuing the flowing movements that connect body with the breath. So we can shift to the right foot, shift the weight to the right foot. We're going to bring up the right hand, palm facing down. Bring up the left hand. Left hand can be eye height or shoulder height, whatever feels good to you. Palm is facing towards the body. The left hand, this moment, is a cloud. Right hand can be the shadow or just the hand that is tracing the water. And we're going to turn it the waist, shifting to the left side. And as the hands make it over to the left side, we're going to switch the position of the hands. Right hand draws up, left hand flows down underneath right hand. We're just going to turn at the waist, watching the cloud pass through the sky. Noticing how that feels. Switching the position of the hands anytime you shift them side to side. Breathing pattern can be natural Or maybe you're just inhaling from one side, exhale to the other. That allows you to be focused in the present moment. Noticing where your awareness is, noticing what you're paying attention to. Do 2 more passes of this movement for each side. And we'll end the movement when we find ourselves flowing back to the right side. And when you're all set, you just let the hands slow down. Noticing what you're feeling. Noticing where your awareness is. And we're going to take an opportunity to do a standing meditation before we close the practice. So, I like just the standard Qigong, embrace the tree, standing meditation. It's my go-to standing meditation. So we can begin with the hands hanging down, relaxed. We'll allow the wrist to draw up in front of the body, about chest, shoulder height. We'll turn the hands, fingers facing towards the palms facing towards the body. We'll imagine that we're hugging, embracing a tree, so our arms are around. Shoulders drop, elbows can drop. And finding a height that feels comfortable for you. We're just going to hold this position for a minute and a half. Just a standing meditation to end the practice. Coming back to a form of stillness, but feeling the movement within this stillness. An opportunity to just be with our energy, be in the present moment. Feeling any tightness or tension in the shoulders and neck, you allow your hands to just drop down and bring them back up, or just lower them. Seeing if you can just soften or release that tension. Doing what is best for you. But if you can hold this posture, see how long you can hold this posture. We're almost set. Give that 30 seconds. All right, you can turn palms facing the ground, allow the hands to flow down. And we're going to close this practice. So thank you for participating in that standing meditation. So with our arms relaxed by our side, we're going to bring the hands, palms facing up. We're going to inhale them toward the sky overhead. We're going to bring the left foot next to the right foot. And with the palms overhead. Turn them facing towards you. Exhale, allow them to flow down from the body, taking in whatever you need from the class. We're going to do that 2 more times. Palms face up, circling overhead, facing towards ourselves. Exhale. Flow down. Shower yourself with whatever you need. Goodness, energy, support. Do this 1 more time. Total of 3 times. All right, and to close this practice, this part of class, I will not be mirroring you. So you can bring up your right hand as I bring up my right hand. And the right hand can be in the form of a soft fist. And this is going to represent yang energy of the day. I'm going to bring up my left hand. You can bring up your left hand. Palm can be open. Left hand will represent yin energy. And let's bring yin and yang together. Left over right. In the center, let's take an opportunity to bow to ourselves for engaging in this Qigong practice. That's come from China, been practiced for years for energy cultivation and healing and wellness. And I want to take this time for thanking you for, again, sharing this practice wherever you're coming from. Hope this has supported you. And I want to thank Torva. I want to thank Dear Drum, who's dearly missed. Anniversary, his passing was just a few days ago. And still miss him. So thank you for this teaching, the support, and his love. And I want to thank the Valley Qigong and the teachers, Catherine and Kapil, great people, great support. And thank you again. Till next time, may you be well, live well, and take good care. Bye.